Vice Winner of the Fred Cogswell Award, Carolyn Morgan, and her book, What Became My Grieving Ceremony, is from Thistledown Press. Now, I have to make a personal confession again. I have to tell you, my first book of poems was about a family, but I set it at a distance, away in Barcelona, in Catalonia, Spain. I could never have done what Carolyn has done. Write poems about those closest to me and where they live and breathe, turning it into ceremonial for my clan. I could never have done that. The grief and kinship feelings throughout the book are both singular and collective. The voice is the poet's, but the vision is of the clan, seen both individually and together. Mother, father, brother, sister, cousins are here, and they bring the reader into a sorority and brotherhood with the book, pulling them all together for the last time, the burial of a loved one. And this is what the book became for me, a beloved one. Never as a book, at least in my memory, lived up so well to its title. And a long one. People say, long titles, don't use long titles. This one lives up to its long title. The poems stand out, polished, but raw, heartfelt. The line ends, and end lines are like fine nerve ends for me. So I'll read you two poems that appear on opposite pages in the book. The first is called It Wasn't the Tears That I Lacked. But before I start, there is a word, karakana, you might need to explain for me. Its other name is Siberian pea shrub. It's a shrub planted throughout the prairies, a bit like gorse or broom, and about the same size. It has yellow flowers, I believe, and its pods grow, then blacken and burst in the summer heat and spread seed. You might say, like tears. So here is, it wasn't the tears that I lacked, but the words to name this morning. Should I speak for families grieving? I am as useless as Eve in the garden. My fingertips on the curved forehead of a calf. Warm brown head. Fringe of curled lashes, saying, "You are a calf." The calf never answers because I do not speak his language and he cannot speak mine. Yet he feels the impress of my finger on the strong bones of his skull. He swings his head, turns on steady legs. No more a calf than a raven, no matter that I have named him. So how in my lost language, in my empty apartment, in my brown skin, can I speak our sorrow? What word in mischief captures the wail at the hollow of my throat? How do I heal past the rhythm of slave songs, the theft of liberty, skin pulling off the meat of the back. I will collapse beneath the weight of namelessness. In writing this, I am as useless as Eve, fingering the Karagana, saying Karagana as if saying it could make it true. And the other poem I read, because there's someone here who also is in this poem. It's called Here on This Old Prairie, I Kick Off My Elk Skin Shoes. I recall myself to these dry grasses. How as a child I hated the prick of them on my skin, and now I am a barefoot woman. My mother is barefoot too. I know, without saying, these bluffs are rich with owls, the ground with bones and prairie dogs nesting. Here the valley begins without warning. We tumble into its sucking mouth. My mother's hair loses its curl in the prairie, falls that flat and long as in her youth, reaching toward the grass. I feel the curling of my own wild masses, my body stretching in the seething wind. So I'd like to ask Carolyn's mother to come up, and I'll say a little bit about Carolyn from the back of the book I'll read. It's a very nice write-up. Carolyn was born in Regina, Saskatchewan, and her family has been on the great Canadian prairies for many generations. Her Métis mother is from Spiritwood, Saskatchewan, and her father came to Saskatchewan as a young immigrant from Trinidad. She is a working writer and painter, and a graduate of the University of Victoria's creative writing program. Her work has appeared in a variety of national literary magazines. She lives in Toronto, Ontario. Alas for us, but we do have her. So I